few years back, I had my first big opportunity to direct a major show. We're talking like promotions and ticket sales and major accountability outside of the academic bubble that I had been groomed in to that point. And I picked a very challenging piece, and I assembled a talented production team. I gathered an enthusiastic cast because this was going to be my coming out party. I was going to show the world the innate genius that was inside me. I was going to rattle their bones and reveal to them the true nature of the human condition through this play. I learned a lot about the human condition from that production. It was a very unexpected and profound lesson, and it's one I'm going to share with you today because I've carried it with me every day since, not just as an artist, but I try to apply it as a person. You see, during this process, I had a young woman come and audition for the show. She was a dancer who had never acted before, never sang in public, and to be quite honest, her audition was not very good. But she expressed a tremendous amount of passion for this tale, for this play I was doing about a young dancer struggling. And so I decided to give her a chance. Fortunately, it wasn't long after I had granted her that opportunity that this young dancer, this very vibrant and gifted mother of two, passed away in a tragic accident. And our perspective changed a little bit. You see, as a result of that, some people decided to not continue on with the project. And those of us that did had to cope with what had occurred. We found the best way of doing that was opening up to each other. We had to do that before we could move on. And I realized something. We had formed a community. We had connected in a profound way, and now we had something worth truly sharing with the larger community. There's no hubris, no bone-rattling genius, just people sharing. And what I'm going to talk about today, what I hope you take with you, is the understanding that we got there through vulnerability. And that vulnerability is essential to human connection, not just through art, but interpersonal and on every level. Any experience you have, whether it be the most intimate or the largest of social gatherings, implicitly requires risk. It requires that you demonstrate vulnerability. We're all fundamentally aware of this. I was aware of it myself, and I began to question why I had found it so difficult to be vulnerable. Perhaps it was something in the media. I mean, my high school experience was nothing like Saved by the Bell. To this day, none of my romantic relationships or meaningful, intimate moments resemble John Cusack movies, and Ross and Rachel are completely foreign to me. And I think innately for a long time, perhaps I thought I was doing it wrong. So we create social masks. We do it every day. We interact differently with our loved ones, our grandparents, our co-workers. We put on whatever we need in order to make it through. I believe it's more valuable to open up and rather than give a facade or the best example of ourself, the whole of ourself. And it's not just media construction that was manipulating me. There's also a certain amount of cynicism. Vulnerability is considered weakness in a lot of circles and to a certain extent in my family. But when you look back over it, there's tremendous examples of people being vulnerable and being whole. Ulysses wept, and so did Achilles. According to the Bible, Jesus himself wept too. So then the question becomes, if we know that vulnerability is part of our wholeness, and we have a long history of it, dating back from religious rituals in the caves to sporting events right now, and they're very powerful. I know you have seen the shirtless people in 10-degree weather who painted their bodies cheering and screaming. And what are they watching? What are they cheering and screaming for? People who have dedicated their lives towards something. And in a sporting event, there is a winner and there is a loser. And we share in that experience, just as we share in the experiences that artists are providing. Vulnerability may be the center, but the gathering itself is the reason. Religious ritual, sports, TED Talks. You all have made it a point to take time out of your day to come here, to gather, in the hopes that this shared experience will provide you with something. Not just an idea with sharing, but leaving as part of a community. Experiencing something human. You came not just for the idea, but in the hopes that myself and all those who have spoken before me and those who will speak after will open up and truly, truly reveal something meaningful to you. See, this is a pretty vulnerable position. There are easy ways to go about this, though, right? There's easy ways to overcome the cynicism and fear and cowardice and push through the social masks. Quite simply, one way is just tell a joke. Even if no one laughs, even if it fails, that's okay, you took a chance. And odds are someone's going to love you anyways. Another great thing to do is find a friend and recall a specific memory. Relive that experience that you shared with them. Trust me, it's just as powerful now as it was when it occurred. And of course, you can always just reach out to the loved person or persons in your life and just thank them, again, specifically for what they give to you on a daily basis. In performance, many people are misled to believe that we fake or pretend to be a character. That's not true. In actuality, in art creation, in my belief, and the belief of most artists I care about, you are not pretending to be anything. You are revealing something. One of the most basic exercises is something you can all take with yourself. You can do it now if you choose. I don't care. But the idea is to look at someone directly in the eye and give them one simple truth. If you can say one simple truth, then you have been brave for that day. And all you have to do is find some person and tell them, you are a human being. And if you're brave enough to commit that act, then you can take it one step further and tell another person, you can hurt me. We know both those things to be true. And we have to embrace it in order to move forward. Vulnerability forms communities. vulnerability transcends time. For proof of that, being a theater guy, I'm going to leave you with some Shakespeare. At the end of his play, Macbeth, the eponymous king proclaims that life is but a poor player who struts and frets his hour on the stage. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury signifying nothing. For those of you familiar with the play, you know this is because Macbeth has abandoned everything valuable. He's lost his family. He's killed his friends. He's destroyed his community, all in pursuit of power, wealth, prestige, respect. If we avoid that trap, if we remember to be part of our community, in fact, to boldly embrace all the humans around us, I promise you that our tales will be full of sound and fury, but they will signify something. Thank you.